Spirit is saying to you. A reading from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12 to 17. As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and passion. Bear with one another if anyone has a complaint against another. Forgive each other just as the Lord has forgiven you. So you also must forgive. Above all, clothe yourself with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. And let peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in the one body. And be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. Teach and admonish one and another in all wisdom, and with gratitude in your hearts. Sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs to God. And whatever you do, in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Here ends the reading of words that give us insight on God. May God grant us wisdom and courage for interpretation.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
So another way to say that is that in order to know peace, K-N-O-W, in order to experience peace, to live peace, you must first experience justice. And so one of the largest parts of what this group was doing this week was helping to create justice, so that they might help to create a more peaceful Oakland and a more peaceful world. And as they were learning about how peace is created in Oakland, they were learning about how peace might be created in San Diego and beyond as well. I want to show you some pictures before they get up and share with you themselves what they learned, what they found meaningful. I think that's important, that you hear directly from them what they thought was most peaceful, most just this week. Last week, even though we weren't with you, we were still in worship. We were worshiping with First Congregational Church of Oakland. And do you all remember what was unique about that church? Ariana, what was it? Do you remember? That's right, Jacob remembers. There was no paid minister. The congregation ran the church. The congregation ran the service. So you all don't need me, is what I'm saying. It was powerful to see members of the congregation empowered and out doing ministry, leading worship. And so today, these members of our congregation and Mission Gathering, our sister congregation, are going to tell you about their experience and how they experienced God this week. So as you know, we did go on this mission trip this week in a 15-passenger van. We did survive it, and we went to the Oakland Peace Center. The Oakland Peace Center partners with over 40 different nonprofits in Oakland, and 14 of them are actually housed in that building, which is the old First Christian Church Disciples of Christ building of Oakland. On day one, they partnered with Planting Justice, an organic farm that helps to promote environmental sustainability and helps people to get good, nutritious food. Here's Grant pulling some weeds. Here's Jacob pulling some weeds. Tim and Jaime asked me to make sure there were pictures of Jacob working. So, Jacob, they know you. Did you hear that laughter? They all worked really hard. Here's Gabe. He harvested some strawberries and some flowers. Megan, look how many weeds she pulled. Several of them are Ava and Isabel, Ariana and Gabe. The next day, we worked with an organization called Urban Relief, R-E-L-E-A-F, that was founded about 20 years ago, and in that time they have planted, catch this, over 220,000 trees in Oakland, because there are entire places in Oakland where there are no trees, and people are getting sick and dying because of that. So here's Wendy and Gabe watering the trees, Ava and Isabel watering the trees, Ariana and Jacob planting trees, and here's the whole group along with those who were running Urban Relief. We also heard about immigration issues, immigration reform. We heard from an immigration rights attorney. We worked with Soul Shop, which is an organization that promotes anti-bullying in schools, that teaches kids skills to help get along with one another. And to help them, we had bookmarks that we bundled up. Jacob and Gabe first and Jacob. We also worked with the food pantry in Oakland. We bagged and counted several thousand pounds of apples and corn, and other groups did potatoes and oranges. I think there were 13,000 pounds that day. We didn't do all those ourselves, but they did do a lot. We also partnered with Project Darius, which does a variety of things in Oakland. It's run by a mother whose son was killed by gang violence, and we help them to sort clothes to give out to those in need. We partnered with Project Gubbio, which helps to feed people who are hungry and neighbors who are often unhoused in Oakland. Here is a mural wall that has transformed one of the streets there and has talked about important issues. We also went that evening to an outdoor church run by Project Gubbio. Ariana read scripture while we were there. Here's the whole group sitting on their pews. Now, I know that some of you say these pews aren't very comfortable, but these have got to be better than sitting on the curb there, right? They also helped a church, St. Martha and St. Mary, by pulling weeds out of their garden. We went to Oakland Chinatown, and we learned about the history of Chinatown there, and we ate authentic Chinese food. Shonda, who runs the Oakland Peace Center, helped us to order authentic Chinese food, so we got something other than what we might get at Panda Express. And some of them were challenged by that. A few years ago, that would have been a challenging place to eat for me. So they were troopers. They also went to San Francisco's Chinatown and had less of a history lesson and more shopping opportunities. We helped to put up flyers around the neighborhood to promote events, but we had fun too. This is the group down at the bottom of Lombard Street. We walked down Lombard Street, you know this, the zigzag street, right? And we walked back up, and then, catch this, I drove the 15-passenger van down Lombard Street. It said not to, but we decided to anyway. We also went to Ghirardelli Square. They got some ice cream. There's more eating ice cream. Even Jacob. And this next picture is the one that Larry described as our photo album, our cover album for the trip, right? Here it is, the whole group in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. So before they begin, I just want to thank you all for supporting this trip and making it possible. Thanks. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. So now you're going to hear just a few words from each of them about their experience, and Ariana Gulick-Gwynn is going to start us off. Ariana, why don't you come up here and take the microphone?
Hello, my name is Ariana, and last week we had a youth trip. One of the organizations we worked with was Urban Relief, and I mostly plant a whole tree by myself and with a little 7 or 8 year old named Thomas with me, and it was really happy. and a great day because there was like a 70-year-old dad who lived in the house and who's been wanting a tree for like the past couple months. So he was really happy when he saw the tree there, planted and ready. And another thing was Caleb taught me 2 songs on the piano, which was fun. Yeah, and that's it.
What did we learn, Ariana? What was the name of the song? Do you remember?
No.
We learned some Heart and Soul this
Yeah.
week. That's what we were talking about, Heart and Soul. We learned Heart and Soul. Thank you, Ariana. And one thing she didn't say is the people who she was planting a tree in front of their house, they were so impressed by what she had done that they came out and took a picture. And she wanted to do that by herself. People were willing to help her, but she wanted to do that by herself so she would have that accomplishment. Thanks, Ariana. Gabe Kretschmar is up next.
Hello, my name is Gabe Kretschmar. I'm going to be talking about planting justice, which I worked very hard on. That was like the only day I really worked that hard. So there we picked roots out of little containers of soil, so the soil can be in a wheelbarrow with dragged to another box of soil, and the soil is there to plant food and other plants to help the environment, and trees, because there's not that many trees in Oakland, and neighborhoods without any trees can, I think, lose oxygen, but with trees they can get more oxygen. So, and then at Gubbio, the homeless helping thing, I met this guy named Michael. He was a cool guy. Well, I only said hi to him, but John, our tour guide, he told me and I think 3 other people that he stayed there for a while. He was there for a while, and what we did to help them was to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that was for lunch. And for breakfast, we made bagels with cream cheese. Yeah.
Thank you, Gabe. And don't let him fool you. That may have been the day he did the most physical labor, but this whole group worked hard that whole week. Grant Foster, would you like to come up?
Hi, I'm Grant Foster. I'm going to tell you 3 things that was memorable about the trip. One was Urban Relief, where we were digging up trees, used a pickaxe to take out some of the rocks in the holes that we were digging to plant the trees. And once we planted the trees, the neighborhood had a couple more trees than just dirt. Then with planting justice, I helped out pulling the weeds, taking a wheelbarrow to a compost bin where I threw all the weeds in, then took it back and pulled weeds. And I also got to try a couple freshly grown fruits and vegetables. And with helping Soul Shop, the company that helped with bullying, we helped make bookmarks and made some micro scale wall of bookmarks at the end.
Thank you, Grant. You should have seen this guy with a pickaxe. He was really busting up those rocks. And Grant, if you don't know him, you should get to know him. He's hilarious. He's got the driest sense of humor of anyone I've ever met. It's great. Jacob, you're up.
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. I'm Jacob Steigers. I think I know a lot of you. So this week, I became a part of the church again after a long break. I I think it was about near a year that I haven't come, and to come back to a work trip was, I'd say, empowering. I got to work with these little kiddies over here, and personally, I'd like to give gratitude to all you parents out there. I have no idea how you do it. It's really hard. I wouldn't like to focus on one thing because we had the entire week of pulling weeds, planting trees, making soil better, getting yelled at because we were drinking soda.
Not by us.
But I feel like we've all grown spiritually and physically and as a group. We all got to know each other. First day, I don't think we all talked to each other that much on the way up there. We were all very nervous. We were all very timid, and we didn't know each other. But by the second day, it feels like we knew each other our whole lives. It was a great trip. I personally got really dirty while using the pickaxe. Grant was way better at it than me, I'm just going to say, because there was water in the hole, and I did not see that, so I got a lot of dirt on me. It was behind my ears. It was just really gross. You guys would not want to do it. But I'm going to leave you with this, because I feel like I'm going to be coming here more often because I feel like I got connected to the Lord more because I saw it in all the kids, in myself, in Larry, and Caleb, and Wendy, and everyone that was helping us. We reunited as the Peanut Butter and Jelly Brigade, as my dad called it, and we all tried a bunch of new things. We tried new foods at the actual genuine Chinese food, and I, for one, tried eggplant. So I'd like to say that I'll see you guys next Sunday.
And we talked, Jacob was the oldest one on the trip, and we talked a lot about him being a leader, not just in our youth trip, but out in the world, and the wonderful things that he can do and accomplish. Ava Villalobos.
Hi everyone, I'm Ava Villalobos. Two memorable things on the trip that I did and learned was packaging food for, like, organic food for people, and I liked that a lot because it was kind of like a competition between me and this other lady. That was fun. The second memorable thing that I liked doing a lot was the Gubbio project, where you'd package lunch and breakfast for the homeless, well, unhoused actually. They like to use that term. So for breakfast, we made bagels and cream cheese, and we served it to them. And then for lunch, we packaged PB&Js with bananas. My favorite part about the Gubbio project was we got to meet some of the unhoused people, and I got to meet Michael and Gustavo and people and got to learn their story.
Yeah. And Gaba, how did it feel to only have peanut butter and jelly and a banana that day for lunch?
Well, I don't like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but for me, if you haven't eaten in a while, it's better to eat something than not eat something that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you're grateful for it.
And you were hungry, weren't you?
I was.
She was hungry that day. Thank you, Ava. She did. She said, Caleb, I like food, and you didn't give me enough food today. And I said, you all monitor how you feel, and think about how other folks who might not like peanut butter and jelly and bananas feel too. And she really went along with that and was a team player with that, even though it's not what she wanted, so thank you. And Isabel Holland, who many of you probably don't know because She goes to Mission Gathering, our sister congregation here in town, with whom we're about to do a lot of events. And this was one of the things that we did together, and we're so glad that we got to meet you and know you. Yeah, welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. We did so many things this week. It was really crazy and really memorable. But one thing that I did that I really loved was helping at the food bank, because packaging those items and giving it to people who haven't had meals really touched my heart. Because a lot of the times people take for granted what they do have. And it really made me realize that people have less than I do, and that really helped. So thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you. And thank you for jumping in and making friends and just being a part of this community. And you know, you are. And our friends at Mission Gathering are. We are all one family. And we're grateful for you and grateful that you were a part of this trip. Youth, I am grateful to all of you for your time, for giving this whole week when you didn't have to, and for coming this morning and being willing to talk. Didn't they do a good job to lead worship and to model how they can put their faith in action and bring it home? And I want to say a special word of thank you to Larry Morris, who was our Director of Youth and Family Ministries, but finished his time with us in May. He's now our Cultivator of Creative Ministry. Do you like that? Cultivator of Creative Ministry. But he had no obligation to go on this youth trip, and he came back to do that. Thank you, Larry. And to Wendy Svensson, who got asked a week before the trip to go and dropped things, made sure that she had other obligations, she flew out there to join us and flew back home so that she could be with us. And she made sure that we all behaved. She's a mom, yes, and she made sure that we reflected on everything. And I don't know what I would have done without you, Wendy, and without you, Larry. Without the two of you, it would have been a different trip. So thank you all very much. Thank you. I'm grateful to both of you. And thank you to you, University Christian Church, for supporting the youth, for making this trip possible, and for your prayers and your love and support.